Hello, my fellow pod pilots of New Eden. I'm back in EvE Online, and I'm quite enjoying it. I'm just kind of pondering on the little different elements of what I'm going to be getting myself into, and I think I want to get into faction warfare. I used to be into faction warfare. I think the first instances of PvP that I ever did all those years ago when I first started playing EvE was in faction warfare, and I had really good fun doing it. Since then, I've gone offline. I've played Dust 514 a little bit, and now I'm coming back to EvE. I came back to EvE to test the sort of connectivity between Dust 514 and EvE Online, and found myself quite enjoying it again. So yeah, here I am. I'm kind of starting off tentatively and seeing which direction I want to go in. I remembered I used to do faction warfare missions in a stealth bomber, and they used to make crazy amounts of LP, so I'm here in a stealth bomber just trying that out again, and it seems to work okay. But grinding for ISK is something that you have to do, and I really don't enjoy it very much at all. All I like to do in EvE is PvP and fly around and try and kill other people and let other people kill me and have fun doing it. And I used to solo PvP and small gang PvP quite a lot. I don't like the large alliance battles and big fights. As soon as the fleet starts getting bigger than sort of 10 to 15 people, I kind of duck out and go off on my own and do my own thing. I'd much rather jump into a gate camp and die, but at least I was doing it on my own, to sitting on a gate camp of 20, 30 people just waiting for someone to come in, or waiting to own someone else, or being told exactly what to do by your FC, which is great, and I understand that some people like that, but that's just not for me. If the FC could control your movements and your guns, I'm sure that he would, if that makes sense. He's telling you to shoot now, fly here, orbit that, do that, but if he could control you and control all the people at once, I bet he probably would. And that's basically all large fleet battles are, trying to just coordinate people more than the actual fight. The most coordinated group wins, I think, is the way it sort of goes. But with solo PvP and small gang, it's all down to your instincts, how well you fly, it's how well you know your ship, etc, etc. And that's what I want to get into again, and that's what I want to enjoy. And that kind of gameplay has that ability to be able to log on, have a little fly around, try and get in a couple of fights, and then log off again. I'm not having to set my alarm clock to EvE. I'm not having to do war decks. I'm not having to go on at this time or play for 5 or 6 hours at a time on a big long roam. I can log on, play at my own times, perhaps play with a couple of other people, have a little roam, and then log off again. And that's kind of not consuming too much of my life. And I think that that's the kind of way that I'm going to have to be able to jump back into this game again, because it did consume me quite a lot when I used to play it. And I don't know, when I was at university and back in the day, I used to play a lot of this game, and I'd always be found on it, and I found it sucked my life away a little bit, and I was kind of glad to give it up for a little while. But I'm looking forward to coming back at it again, but with a much more casual approach, and just enjoy it for what it is, and not get too bogged down with alliances or the politics side of it, or in industrial stuff, and just try and have fun and PvP on a budget, I think, because I'm not going to want to grind ISK too much, so I'm not going to be able to fly massively expensive ships or anything. I'm just going to have to fit out cruisers, battle cruisers, frigates, that sort of stuff, and enjoy trying to fight those and get battles where I can. So I have no idea what's going on in faction warfare at the moment. I've joined Minmatar with my corporation, and that's because I used to be in Minmatar all those years ago, and I've got great standings for it. I have no idea what's changed and what's going on. It kind of all still looks roughly the same. There's a few more things in space. When I jump into a system now, I see the kind of scannable items appearing. You've got the green and orange and red things that pop up. I suppose those are the things that you can probe down. Got new warp animations, and I'm not sure if I like those. I think I preferred the ones that I had before, they kind of go all dark and it looks really weird, and I don't know, it's not my cup of tea personally, but that's something that always used to change in EVE sort of annually. I think that the warp animation would change to keep it a bit fresh and keep you interested in moving around from system to system. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble here with my settings. Every time I clicked on something, I kept looking at it, and I didn't want that to happen because I wanted to keep this zoomed out view, because I had to orbit everything at a sort of at least 30 kilometers away so that they couldn't hit me. This is what I remember I used to do. So I remember fiddling with the settings for a while. I did eventually find out how to do it, but that was quite a frustrating little setting. I think that should be set off for people that first start playing the game, because it kind of disrupts your view when the camera starts moving around on anything that you click on. But yeah, other than that, I was kind of picking it up quite quickly again, remembering what to press. I remember spamming scan like you wouldn't believe. Scan, 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 what's in the system, where is he, how far away is he, and all that. So that's going to, that's your most used tool, is that scanning device. I've got no idea what kind of fits a flavour of the month or what still works. I used to love Minmatar nano ships. I used to fly nano ruptures, nano hurricanes, all that sort of stuff. I remember flying a Drake as well. Drakes were sort of really overpowered. But I'm going to have a little look on Battle Clinic, is it? And perhaps watch a few other people's PvP videos and check out their fittings and see what kind of things people are doing at the moment, and then perhaps adapt it to my own little play style and then see what happens. So yeah, I'm in Minmatar Faction Warfare. I put an offer out to anyone who wants to come and join me, or at least fly with me, or join the corporation. You're more than welcome to do any of that. I'm not going to be on a massive amount, but every now and again might be able to go and have a little roam with just a couple of us and see what fun we can have. I need a lot of help with perhaps what to fly and what to fit at the moment. Like I said, I haven't really got a clue. I'm just going to kind of fit out stuff like I used to and see how that goes down, make a few little tweaks and changes. I'm not too sure on a few different modules that come in. I think the armor modules are slightly different. Some of them now take a nanite repair paste to help them rep more or something. I was just having a look at that because I've seen a few people use those modules on their ships, so I need to have a bit more of an investigation on that. But I can pretty much fly anything battleship or below for all races, Tech 2 fit as well, so I'm not kind of limiting myself to a particular race of ships. I think one thing I remember I used to really like flying around was the Slicer, which is for Amar, and I used to fly that sort of nano fit with Scorch crystals, and used to be able to hit at about 20 kilometers, which was kind of, your warp disruption range, which was perfect. But yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, I almost lost my little stealth bomber there. I think I screwed up my transversal and started to approach the area, and they managed to get a few hits off, but I don't think I've got too much to do on this mission. I've just got to pound one of the guys. I don't have, all I've got to do is kill these battleships, I think, and then I can get out. I remember this is how I used to do the faction warfare missions before, so you don't have to clear everything in the site. All you have to do is go and kill a couple certain ships and then back out again, which was why the stealth bomber was kind of perfect for doing this, because it's in low sec. You can use the covert ops cloak, so you're not going to get stuck on gates by the opposing faction. You can move around quickly, and you've got a lot of DPS that you can chuck at the battleships, which it usually is that you have to kill. So in the site, you'd have to kill a certain battleship or a battle cruiser to complete the mission, or a series of ships to get that mission done. And I always found that a stealth bomber was kind of a good one to do, and I just quickly whipped this fit up out of nowhere. I didn't even use the invulnerability field because I think that it meant my cap ran out if I kept doing that, so I was just whizzing around shooting them with this. But yeah, like I said, I'm not too interested in the player versus environment kind of aspect of the game. It's the player versus player that I really want to get into, but I think you've got to get a happy mix of both to be able to make the ISK to do it. So I think, as for making videos will go, I'm sure there's going to be a little equilibrium of doing a bit of PvE and a bit of PvP, but PvP is definitely what I want to do a bit more of, and hopefully you should see a bit more PvP videos from EVE Online on my channel. I know a couple of people always sort of ask me, when are you going to get back into EVE and make some more PvP videos, and I think I'm going to do it very soon. Probably, beginning of next year, or end of this year. I've got a week off over Christmas. I could give it a couple of goes then and see what happens, get back into the swing of things again. I think if you look at the first few videos that I did on YouTube, they were EVE videos and EVE PvP videos. I used to do them mostly to music, so they'd be kind of music PvP videos, but I think now I'm a lot more confident with my channel and just chatting away and not worrying about anything, or I just do this for fun, and I don't mind yapping away at the computer anymore and talking to sort of an audience that I can't even see half the time. So it's going to be a lot more sort of commentary based, and I'll talk through the PvP that I'm doing, maybe even do the commentary live while I'm PvPing or something. I'm not too sure how that's going to work, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you've managed to sit through this much of this video and you're interested in watching some sort of PvP from me, please comment below and link me some fits or something to fly, or what's going on in faction warfare at the moment, a little bit of info, perhaps some links to some forum stuff, some things that I should know about what's happening in the game at the moment would be really, really useful for me. So yeah, till next time, fly safe.